So when we were doing scale drawings, we had played with proportions. So none of this should be math that we haven't touched upon before. So let's read this example. It says 1 cup of uncooked rice will make 3 cups of cooked rice. The ratio for uncooked to cooked is 1 to 3. The fraction 1/3 names this ratio. So if you want to make 6 cups of rice, how many cups of uncooked rice would you want? So remember, the top is referring to the before, the uncooked version. The bottom is referring to the cooked result, because once you add the water and then it absorbs the water, it fluffs up and all that stuff. So all you're doing is solving this proportion. Now remember, when you solve a proportion, we're going to cross multiply. So you can call that your x. It would be 1 times 6 has to equal 3 times x. And what did we decide we always need to do when we end up with a number on our x? We got to divide it off. And so that's why we get an answer of 2. Now, please, these are real life things. So make sure you decide or tell me what that is. So you would say 2 cups of uncooked rice. Okay. So make sure that you give it context. Okay. So let's take a look at the one we see here. Let's look at example 2 together before we jump in. It says 1 cup of dry pasta will make 2 cups of cooked pasta. We need 10 cups of cooked pasta for our dinner. The ratio is 1 to 2 or 1 to 1/2. They're showing us here how to solve it, but remember, if you make this an x, you'll see that you just can cross multiply. Now, another trick that works for fractions, if this number goes into 10 evenly, that multiple also will work. Now, it doesn't work if it doesn't go in evenly, so you can multiply by 5 to get the correct answer. So there's lots of ways to do that. Okay, so for this first section, think of putting your x there. I want to see what your cross multiplication is first, and then your answer, okay? And then we've got the word problems. So let's set up number 7 together, and then I think that should get you going. And then we'll probably end up, this shouldn't take long, to jump into the adjusted recipe Kitchen Math 19 worksheet. Okay, let's take a look at number 7 together. It says, if you squeeze 2 oranges, you get 1 cup of juice. You want to make 6 cups for your Sunday breakfast with the family. How many oranges will you need to squeeze? So you would say, think about the fact that 2 oranges makes 1 cup of juice. So you have to remember when you set this up, Jackson, turn around this way until we're done. This here, the top number refers to the number of oranges. The bottom number refers to the number of cups of juice.
Good morning, students and staff. Here are your current standings for the NHS Snooker.
In 4th place, we have Mr. Slivka with 15 points for 6 students.
In 3rd place, we have Mr. Michael's homeroom, who has 66 points for 22 students.
In 2nd place, we have Mr. DeMuzio with 52 points with 14 students.
And in 1st place, we have Miss Smith's homeroom, who has 62 points for 10 students. Thank you to everyone who has donated to the food drive this week. Have a good day, Bites.
Now, if you take a look, the 6 cups is what we want of juice. So that's why you have to put the 6 cups down there and your unknown, how many oranges on top. So just make sure that if you put oranges over juice on the left, that you put oranges over juice on the right, or your proportion will not be set up properly. Okay? And then to solve it, remember, we're going to cross multiply. 1 times x is x. 2 times 6 is 12. What's great is when it has this 1 in that spot down at the bottom, when you multiply by the x, it gets you the answer instantly, so that's great. So then let's put our context on the line. This would be 12 oranges. So it's just about proportions, which we've done before. So your job is to finish this, and then once everybody's finished, we need to talk about the worksheet. So work on this now, and then if you need me, just raise your hand. I'll come over and help.